Welcome back to Wednesday Night Sports.
Yep, this is episode 2 of Wednesday Night Sports.
This week I should say,
Yep.
we are covering the Big 12 Conference and the SEC
SEC
Conference.
Yes, sir.
We had a lot of entertaining games this past
a lot
week.
of top 25 games and entertaining games.
Yeah.
But, we'll just be going over the conference and, power rankings. I guess more or less our opinion of what we think the rankings should be.
Yeah.
I think right now it's actually pretty valid, but, we're just going to go over it. Tell you guys who we think should be in what spot, what position. So, yeah.
Do you want to go first? We're going to start with the Big 12 Conference.
Yeah, we're starting with the Big 12 Conference, and we'll just be going over each team. And, seeing, who we think should be where. So, first overall in the Big 12 Conference, I guess technically they're tied, BYU and Iowa State. Two very interesting teams, actually.
They had an identical game.
Literally the exact same final score. And
exact same final score, exact
ending.
same what happened. Unreal.
Crazy weekend for the Big 12 Conference. But anyway, BYU played on Friday night. They played Oklahoma State, which they are last in the Big 12 Conference, but that was quite
realistically,
scary.
They should be like 8. They are not.
I agree.
They're not.
They're not as bad as what their record shows.
They're 0-4 in the conference.
They should be ahead of Kansas and Houston.
Oh. Who did they even beat?
I mean, they have Kansas and Houston played each other, I think. And I think
who won?
Houston. I have no idea actually. I only watch them for basketball.
Who'd the other team win?
I have no idea.
I don't even remember.
But anyway, BYU and Iowa State technically tied. But I think BYU should be at 1 because the schedule shows for it. Iowa State hasn't really played anybody that great. Have they even played a ranked opponent?
No, I don't think they have.
BYU they beat Kansas State, and Kansas State, that is their only loss, was against BYU.
Pretty sure as of Friday night, or probably even before then, there were only 2 teams in the country that had 2 wins against top 25 opponents that are currently top 25. That's Oregon and BYU.
Yeah. And a ton of Utah fans were complaining about that, but none of the teams Utah has beat are ranked anymore.
They
beat Oklahoma State. And then who else did they beat? Because they beat somebody else that was ranked earlier, I'm pretty sure.
Utah?
Yeah. So they beat Oklahoma State when they were ranked 14.
Yeah, that's when they started falling.
Yeah, I don't know Utah's schedule. But anyway, so BYU at 1, I think that's valid because their schedule shows for it. Iowa State at 2, obviously. Because, Iowa State.
They're 7-0.
Yeah, they're 7-0. They're ranked 9th in the
7-0?
country. Kansas State at 3. I will accept that. Kansas State is a good team. And I will root for them most of the time, to be honest with you. Yeah, I like their quarterback.
They're low-key a valid
sophomore.
Team. Yeah, they're a valid team.
Avery Johnson, man. I feel like he could be a Heisman candidate next couple of years. If he keeps playing how he's playing.
Yeah.
See, now this is where I don't agree. Cincinnati ahead of Colorado.
Yeah.
No.
Their record in the conference is 3-1.
Yeah. For both teams. And Cincinnati just barely beat Arizona State, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. I'm gonna rank Tech here.
Ahead of both?
I think Tech goes number 4.
Okay.
Tech is actually good.
Yeah, they are good.
I've low-key vibe
Underrated.
with Tech.
But
yeah.
Yeah, no. I would put Colorado and then Tech, and then I'd put Cincinnati at 6.
I'd put Tech at 4, Colorado at 5, and Cincy at 6. That's how. No.
Yeah, that's valid. That is valid.
Then
so you would just keep Colorado where they're at?
Yeah.
And then just move Tech and Cincinnati?
Yes.
Yeah, no, that's valid. And then Arizona State, I would keep them.
I would keep Arizona State there.
I would keep them there. And then like we said earlier, I would put Oklahoma State at 8. Yeah. The record doesn't show.
0-4 in the Big 12. That doesn't – they've played tough teams.
Yeah.
I mean, they played Utah with a healthy Cam Rising, I'm pretty sure. Oh,
I think Cam Rising went out early in that game, and then it was Isaac Wilson.
Well, granted.
But, yeah, no. Their record doesn't show for it. They exposed BYU's defense the other night, too.
That is true. Ollie Gordon,
he's so
you
good.
cooked. But at the same time, your coaches.
Injured. Yeah, your coaches sold you, Ollie Gordon, and I'm sorry.
Or it might have been you, which.
Yeah, you could have put yourself in the game.
If that's your choice, then that's your choice. But killing yourself.
Yeah, that was rough.
You
limped every time you walked off the field.
Went out limping
walked on and
like
off.
4 times.
Yeah, but it's rough.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would put Oklahoma State at 8, and then
I'm putting UCF at 9.
Really?
I'm putting UCF at 9.
Okay, that's fair actually.
Because, I mean, I don't remember the exact stats, but at least their running game is probably top 2 in the Big 12, I'd say. I mean, last week against Iowa State, I'm pretty sure they had like 50 passing yards.
Yeah.
And they had over 300 rushing yards.
Their run game was so strong.
Iowa State. Same way Oklahoma State did to BYU.
Yeah, that game was the exact same. Both games were the same.
Just straight running game.
Okay.
Did you know that side by side, Ollie Gordon and LJ Martin in the BYU game had pretty much identical stats?
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Like, it didn't seem as much because Ollie Gordon just went on like 3 long touchdown runs.
Yeah.
But LJ Martin, he was cooking around the whole field.
Yeah. BYU's got to be glad that he's back. He is good.
So, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I would agree with you, UCF at 9. And then I would honestly put West Virginia over TCU.
Really?
Yes.
I'm putting Arizona.
Arizona?
I'm putting
really?
Arizona. I think Arizona's actually not as bad as they appear to be.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
They beat Utah, which, I mean, isn't a huge flex, but nonetheless.
That's fair. Okay. Anyway.
Yeah. I would say I totally lost my train of thought there.
Arizona.
Yeah, I'd say Zona is, 10?
Yeah.
Number 10?
Yeah, no. See, that's fair. Only because they have their quarterback and their one wide receiver is really good.
Yeah.
I think it's number 4. I don't know his name. But, no, they're really good. I agree with you. But I would put West Virginia ahead of them.
Yeah. I mean, that's valid. I haven't seen a lot of West Virginia this year. So I'm not very in the loop about their players and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So after I put Virginia at 11, and then here's where I'd probably go Baylor.
I would put Baylor there too.
Yeah. I put Baylor, then probably Utah at 13.
Yeah.
And then you're running with Houston, Kansas, and I forgot TCU.
Yeah. I would put TCU after Baylor.
Yeah.
And then I would put Houston and then Kansas.
I'm going to put actually, I know that's valid. So go Baylor, TCU, Utah. Then you're left with Houston and Kansas, which honestly, you're both so Houston bad that I'm not even going to put one above the other.
Really? Houston beat Kansas.
But Houston is horrible.
So is Kansas. So
I'm
gonna just put them there just because Houston beat them.
Fair enough. But
that's why I would put them there.
That's valid. I can agree with that.
But So that would be it. I would put BYU, then Iowa State, then Kansas State, then I'd put Colorado, then Texas Tech, then Cincy, then Arizona State, then West Virginia, then UCF, and then Utah, Baylor. No, I would put Arizona, then Utah, then Baylor, then Houston, Kansas.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I think I would go BYU number 1, Iowa State number 2, Kansas State number 3. Then we're going to run with Tech number 4, Colorado number 5, and Cincinnati number 6. Then we're going to run with Arizona State at number 7.
Okay.
UCF number 8. Then, what'd I say? Oh, I forgot. Oh, Oklahoma State number 9.
Mm-hmm.
Then we're going to run with Arizona State number 10. West Virginia 11. Arizona 12. Baylor 13. TCU 14.
Did you place Utah yet?
Yeah, but dude, I totally lost track of my numbers. Holy.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm going off a stupid spreadsheet here, and it's tripping me out. BYU number 1, Iowa State, Kansas State, Texas Tech, Colorado, Cincinnati, Arizona State, UCF, Arizona, West Virginia, Baylor, TCU, Utah, Houston, Kansas.
Yeah, that's a valid list.
I might have left Oklahoma State out there, so I'm just going to put Oklahoma State before West Virginia, if I forgot.
Okay. Yeah, I think I forgot Oklahoma State, but I put them right after Arizona State, ahead of West Virginia. But yeah, so that would be the Big 12. And yeah, I think BYU has a legit chance at making playoff this year.
The Big 12 is actually such a fun conference to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Because,
you never know.
Everything just...
TCU beat Utah. Utah's not that great because they have true freshman Isaac Wilson.
Still put up 7 points. That was such...
It was a long pass.
I watched that whole game. It was so
You watched the whole game?
I watched the whole game. That was so boring.
I didn't watch the
20
game.
points total. Ollie Gordon scored more points in the first half of the BYU game.
That's sad. Yeah, Utah, you're going to have a little bit of a falling out, I think, for the next couple years.
was going to run the Big 12 this year.
Yeah, no, it's BYU's year.
Yep. Stand
Anyway.
aside, BYU won the Holy War this time.
Yep. But, yeah, so that's Big 12 conference for you.
Yep.
Now we're moving on to
It's the other one.
the SEC.
Not that one.
Ooh, I didn't see that. Okay.
Okay.
Now this is an interesting conference.
So let's talk about Georgia, Texas. All right. Did you saw the
Yes.
pass interference call?
Yes.
So Texas, what are we doing? You got a reversed penalty, which never happens, and then you
literally
lost the
crying.
game. Yeah.
That is so
Your fans were
embarrassing.
crying and throwing temper tantrums and throwing beers and water onto the football field. That is pathetic.
It is so sad.
That is so pathetic.
Yeah, I think Texas isn't as good as we thought. I'm going to put it out there. You guys are not as good as I thought.
Nope.
You got exposed so hard against Georgia, and Georgia proved that they're as good as
They say.
always. Yeah.
Georgia's good. They had a rough half against Alabama. That should not tank them.
Yeah, the only reason why everybody thought Georgia was just done was because of the first half against Alabama.
Yep.
But they proved themselves in this Texas game. They exposed you guys so hard.
Did you
Quinn
see what
Ewers,
Kirby Smart said after the game?
yeah, how
Setting
they tried to take it from him.
setting like a precedence
Oh,
with
yeah.
the throwing garbage on the field.
Yeah.
Also, apparently, my uncle was telling me, he's like, apparently the SEC is like really cracking down on that kind of stuff. So what they're trying to do, or what they told Texas to do, was using video footage, find every person that threw garbage onto the field, find them individually, and kick them out for all of next year.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Also, Texas got fined $250,000 for what their student section did.
So, sorry, Texas, because your fans just ruined it for you, but also
Yeah, pathetic.
you guys are a bunch of losers. I do respect actually a lot of players, though, on Texas. But Quinn Ewers, you're not as good as everyone thought. And that proved it. Should have kept Arch Manning in. Give him the experience for next year. Because he's good. Arch Manning is so good.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no. Honestly.
Tennessee at Alabama. I called it.
Yeah, we both did.
Yeah. Bama's not that
Big
great.
upset. No, they're not.
Everyone's like, oh, Bama's number 1. They beat Georgia. So what?
Georgia almost came back and took the lead in the last 2 minutes.
Yeah. So if
and then Ryan
everything
Williams,
that people were saying about Georgia applies to Bama because they did the exact same thing in the second half.
Yeah.
They led up 28 points. So pathetic.
Yeah, it is so sad.
I mean, looking at this standing,
The SEC is weird.
Vanderbilt has the same SEC record as Alabama.
Yeah.
And SEC or Vanderbilt
crazy.
beat Alabama. Oh, that is so awesome.
Okay, but for rankings, I would put Georgia at 1.
Oh, 100%.
Easily. I would put Georgia at 1.
Georgia is the second best team in the country.
Their only loss is to Bama, which it was at Bama. You got to remember that. It was at Bama, and they came back and almost won the game. It was just a rough first half for the offense for Georgia in that game. So I would put Georgia at 1.
Yeah.
And right now they have A&M at 1 because they're 4-0 in their conference.
Mad respects.
Which, yeah, A&M.
A&M is always good.
Yeah,
they're always solid. Pretty mediocre because they can never do something in the playoffs. But, even still.
Yeah. No. A&M, they're always good.
Yeah.
But, so I'd have Georgia at 1. Then I'd put A&M after them.
I'm putting Tennessee at 3.
I would too. LSU is not as good as people think.
Yeah.
And put it out there.
Tennessee's had some good wins this year.
They have. I mean, they lost to, what's their face? Arkansas.
Yeah.
Rough game. It was a close game. And Arkansas, for some reason, is actually doing good against ranked opponents this year. I don't know
It's not like they're losing to Mississippi State, which is clear last.
Yep.
Just want everyone to know. They're number 16. They're pathetic.
Yeah, no, they shouldn't even be in the SEC. But anyway, so Georgia at 1, A&M at 2, Tennessee at 3.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Then LSU's 3-0 in conference because they have a bye week.
Yeah, they are 3-0. They're not bad this year, but
they haven't had games to prove themselves.
Yeah, kind of like Texas.
But
Texas didn't really have a whole lot of competition going up to that Georgia game.
Yeah.
To be for real.
I mean, they slammed Michigan, but at the same time,
but Michigan's not even ranked, which is well deserved. I do not. That made
me so happy to see Illinois beat them. But, yeah. So I think I'm gonna put LSU number 4 just because record shows they're 3-0.
Yeah, I would put LSU at 4 as well. But then this is where it gets tough.
I
would honestly probably put.
I'm putting Texas over.
I was gonna say that. I think I would put Texas at 5, just because. I mean, it's against Georgia, but it's at the same time it was at home, and you're the number 1 ranked team at the time, and then you just get exposed. So that's why it's kind of rough. So I'd put Texas at 5. Then I would put Vandy at 6.
Really?
I would put Vandy at 6.
You see Vanderbilt's ranked?
Yeah.
So awesome.
It's crazy. It goes like Army, Navy, and then Vandy.
America's team. Vanderbilt.
Yeah, no. But I would put Vandy at 6.
Yeah.
And then
that's a hot take. I'm going to put Mizzou at 6.
That's fair.
Then I am going to put Bama at 7.
Really?
Like, I respect Vandy for beating them, but I think if they play again, Alabama takes it.
That's fair.
Plus, they were playing at Vandy, which gives a huge advantage.
Yeah. I wouldn't say huge, especially if you're a Bama football team.
Well, but Vandy has a good fan base.
Yeah, they do.
They have a really good fan base.
Like
they show up. Vandy shows.
Yeah, especially if they're playing Bama. But I would put Vandy at 6, and then I would put Bama, and then I'd put Mizzou.
Okay.
And then you have Arkansas, Florida,
you have the bottom half.
South Carolina, Ole Miss, Oklahoma, Kentucky, Auburn, and Mississippi State.
I have to put Oklahoma at 15.
Oh, you put them at...
I'm putting them at 15.
You put them at the bottom.
I think, Mississippi State, you're just horrible. I'm sorry. Auburn can carry their own weight. They did sell against Mizzou, but at the same time, Mizzou's a ranked opponent.
Auburn always balls out against ranked opponents for no reason.
That
Absolutely
is true.
no reason.
That is true.
It's kind of like Arkansas this year. It's weird. It's been a weird year.
Yeah.
But have you noticed no SEC team is undefeated this season? That is crazy.
Music to my ears.
Yeah, for real. They've ran college football for long enough.
Time to let BYU in. And Iowa State, mad respect. But yeah, so 16, reverse order here because it makes it easier. I'm going to put Mississippi State at 16, then 15, Oklahoma. Then I'm probably going to run with Auburn.
Yeah.
Just because they're 0-4.
You'd have to.
They're 0-4 in conference.
You'd have to.
Then I'm probably going to put Kentucky at 12, right?
Yeah.
16, 15, 14.
And Kentucky almost beat
13,
Georgia.
Sorry. Kentucky at 13.
Yeah.
Then probably Miss.
This is weird.
Just,
I would probably put South Carolina and then Ole Miss. Yeah. Only because Ole Miss is actually, they have like a really good offense.
That is true.
They have a really good offense. I mean, their defense struggles, but I would put Ole Miss after. I would put them at, it'd be 13? No.
Yeah.
12.
No.
Well, because you got Mississippi State,
16,
Oklahoma,
15, 14, 13.
Auburn, Kentucky. So that's, 16, 15, 14, 13. So, yeah, 12. I'd put South Carolina at 12.
Dude, I hate math.
Yeah, I do too. South Carolina at 12, then Ole Miss at 11. And then I'd put Florida and then Arkansas.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
I could honestly agree with that.
Yeah. Again, it's a weird year. You don't know. Yeah. But obviously, you're going to have Mississippi State and Oklahoma at the bottom.
Yeah. I mean, I think
have to.
Arkansas, Florida, South Carolina, and Miss are all...
They're pretty even.
They're all...
It's hard to rank them. But I would only put Ole Miss over South Carolina because I think Ole Miss could beat South Carolina. But again, it could go either way.
Yeah. That's fair enough.
But
I
am a little biased just because of Jackson Dart as well.
Yeah, fair enough.
But, yeah, I would just put Ole Miss ahead of South Carolina. And then, yeah, Florida, then Arkansas.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
So
it's a solid list.
Yeah. Solid
conference.
It is a solid conference. It is weird this year, though, seeing no undefeated teams in the conference. Oh,
I love that.
I do too. Just finally some recognition towards other teams.
Like Oregon. Oregon's killing it.
Holy crap. They're so I don't know, it's hard to tell. Like, what do you think would happen if Oregon played like Georgia?
I guess we'll find out in the playoffs if they ever play.
It's weird. I don't know. It's weird.
It would be a
I
good
think it'd
game.
be a good game, but I think
really
Georgia would probably pull it out. They just showed so much dominance against Texas. It's unreal.
Yeah. I mean, Texas literally got blessed.
Yeah.
By crying
fans.
That is pathetic.
That just makes Texas look so bad too, especially after losing the game. Like, that just makes you look so bad.
The ref said, and I quote, "After consideration, there is no penalty for pass interference on the play. Texas ball."
So dumb.
That.
Yeah, and see, Texas, I was rooting for you until I saw that.
That happened, and I said, you know what?
Yeah, Georgia,
I want Georgia to absolutely pound them
first
into the
time
ground.
And last time I will ever say that. Rooting for Georgia is, ugh.
I'd rather root for Georgia than Bama.
Oh, for sure.
Or Ohio State.
Not like Bama.
Or Notre Dame. Or USC. Those are my ops.
That's fair. I don't like Notre Dame. I mean, they're a good school, but I don't know. When it comes to football, don't like you guys.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no. SEC is weird this year. LSU just needs Joe Burrow back.
Yeah.
And Texas needs Arch Manning to play. Don't know what you guys are doing. Okay, so anyway, if you were to break down my list, I'd have Georgia at 1, A&M at 2. Then I'd put Tennessee at 3. And then I'd have LSU at 4, Texas at 5, Vandy at 6, Bama at 7, Mizzou at 8, and then Arkansas 9, Florida 10, Ole Miss 11, South Carolina 12, Kentucky 13, Auburn 14, Oklahoma 15, and Mississippi State 16.
That's a fair list. I can agree with that. My list, I definitely put Georgia 1, A&M 2, Tennessee 3. Then we're probably going to go with LSU,
Yep.
Texas, Mizzou, Bama. Wait, no, sorry. Rewind, Bama, then Mizzou, then Vanderbilt. Then we're going to go with Arkansas, Florida, South Carolina, Ole Miss, Kentucky, Auburn, Oklahoma, Mississippi State.
Yep. So literally the only thing that switched were just Mizzou, Bama.
And yeah.
And then, yeah, no, valid list. I can agree with that too. Pretty similar lists for both conferences. But, yeah, no. I think Georgia could honestly win the Natty this year.
Yeah.
They're just too good.
If they had been put in the playoffs last year and not been snubbed, they could four-peat.
Unreal.
I know that they would have won. They would have won the playoffs.
See, that
last
was
year.
also another time I was rooting for Georgia. They got snubbed hard.
Yeah, no,
and then Bama got exposed even harder.
Well, Florida State, that was their downfall.
Ugh.
They got killed. What was it, 45-3?
Yeah.
It was like the
Georgia
TCU.
made a statement in that game, dude.
Yeah, nah.
You know.
Crazy. Georgia would be on a four-peat track right now if they were.
Yeah,
put
they
in the
would have.
playoffs.
They would have won the Natty last year if they were put in the playoff.
And that's
Because, dude, did you even watch that game? Refs wanted Bama to win so bad. He was betting money for sure.
I hate refs. They all suck.
They do. I agree. Texas is loving refs because they got a call overturned.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, no, it's actually unreal how you guys did that.
I mean, fair plays, but that's never going to slide again.
Mm-mm.
And now your reputation is ruined.
Well, and now they're just investigating it to find all of you bums who threw it onto the field.
You're all going to get
That's
charged
crazy.
individually, and then you're going to get kicked out of all the games.
Next year. Because what if next year was Texas's year and you just have to miss it all?
Yeah.
It sucks. But I don't think it'll be
Funny people.
Texas's year next year. Georgia's going to be on a good run for the next little bit, I think.
Oh, it's Georgia's dynasty.
Yep. Just like Saban had his, Georgia's doing the same thing.
It's Kirby Smart.
Yep.
He's
Oh.
Kirby Smart, you're the GOAT.
Yeah, you are. And I respect you for what you said after game.
Yeah.
Because Texas, you guys are idiots.
Got fully blessed.
Lost a lot of respect for you guys. I was rooting for you too. And then you blew it. It's unreal.
Yep.
That is another thing though. A&M did expose Mizzou pretty bad when they played them.
I mess with A&M this year.
I do too.
They're cooking.
Well, I mess with them almost every year, especially when they play Bama, because a lot of the time it's pretty 50-50 when they play each other. A&M's pretty good.
And Bama falling off. They're falling off.
Yeah. Hard. Very hard. It's, yeah, no. But Georgia's going to win the SEC this year. I'm calling it. And then for Big 12, I think that BYU and Iowa State would be a good matchup for the Big 12 championship.
That's the championship.
Yeah. And then, yeah.
Yeah.
So, you heard it here first. Georgia's winning the SEC. BYU's winning the Big 12.
Yeah.
Calling it early. Very early, actually.
Yeah,
But
I can agree with that.
yeah, and BYU is favored to win the rest of their games.
I am. UCF can expose them though.
They could easily. Any team could.
BYU's rushing defense, not good. I mean, you
Not
saw
to be seen.
Ollie Gordon just tore through them
Yeah.
piece by piece. Injured, too. He wasn't 100% that entire game.
It's so bad.
Yep. Well, I think that's it for this week.
Yeah, I think that's it for this episode. Just go over conferences.
Next week, we'll be covering the ACC and the Big 10. And
Big
then
10 is a good conference to
low
cover.
key, after we could cover some group of 5 conferences. Like, let's cover the Pac-12. Let's cover the Pac-12 right now.
Pac-12. What is it? Washington State.
Washington State and Oregon State.
I don't even know what the
I
records
think they're gonna
are.
play in the championship together.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Might be a hot take.
No, I don't think anyone else can compete.
Yeah, that is true. I think that both teams are just too dominant for the rest of the Pac-12.
Yep. But next year they're gonna have to change it to the Pac State Conference because every team in the conference ends in state, which is just so funny to me. Not Mississippi State, Fresno State, Utah State, Boise State, Colorado State.
Sometimes I forget Fresno State's even
Washington
a school.
State and Oregon State. That's just so funny.
Yeah.
So funny.
I forget. Yeah, no. Ugh. It's
Yeah.
weird.
But anyways,
That's
been it.
Yeah. That's been it for this week's episode of Wednesday Night Sports.
Yep.
Go sub to the YouTube and follow the TikTok and the Instagram.
Yes.
Wednesday Night Sports or WNS Sports.
Something like that.
Something like that.
Wherever you're finding this, you can find the links to the
Under
other
the same
platforms on the bio of the platform you're on.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
yep, that's it for
So
this
anyway.
week. And we will be back next week. Deuce.
Goodbye.